Edgar Winter group with some Frankenstein action, one of the coolest songs of all time. You're going to love this. This is really, really fun to play on bass. You're going to learn it. In the interest of time, of course, I'm not going to teach you the whole entire song, but a bunch of the really cool bits, a bunch of the really fun ones to play on bass, a bunch of the head turners in the music store. Every time you play that, everyone's going to go, now, because they know that one. Anyway, I am Finbar of Finbar Bass. Alright, so what are those lessons all about down there when you click in the YouTube text box right down there? You should definitely do that if you haven't already. There are some really fun lessons for beginners on there. There's one for intermediate, for more advanced players. For instance, there's a lesson on the floating thumb technique, right? Which is a cool right hand, or actually a plucking hand technique, I should say. If you're lefty, it'll be your left hand, righty, you'll probably be your right hand. But it's a way to mute the strings out, to keep your hand in a natural position. It's the way that I play bass. I love it a lot. It's not the only way, of course, but these tips and tricks can kind of catapult you sort of like into the next level, make your playing sound more professional, and make those notes really ring out. It's helped a lot of people out, and that's just one of the lessons, that's just an example. But it's basically, again, about, having fun, getting better on the bass, and playing some music. All right, so what is going on in this here really cool Edgar Winter lesson? Well, you're going to start on the 3rd fret of the E string. And guess how you know it's a 3rd fret? Well, there's a dot right there. Look at that little red dot. 3rd fret. That's where you're at. And you're going to be hitting that, because I didn't used to have those. If this is the first lesson you're listening to, never had those before. Much easier. Of course, this bass has them up here. Anyway, you're going to hit it twice, right? Then another 2 times. The first 2 times are pretty quick. And then you're going to hit it twice. And then the 1st fret and then 3rd fret twice again. And then you're going to hit this 1st fret of the A string. That was all on the E string right there. Just like that. So really, I'm sure you have heard this song if you're trying to play it on bass probably a bunch of times, and you know the rhythm. And that's the easiest way to learn this. Just, listen to it, learn the rhythm, and you'll know exactly where those bass notes go. What you're doing there is you're hitting it 3 times. And then you hit the 1st fret. That was the 3rd fret 3 times, then the 1st fret, and then the 3rd fret again. Very, very simple. And that's pretty much the signature riff to this song. So it's going to be, every time you play this, people are going to look over and, hey, Edgar Winter, Frankenstein, awesome. I'll do it slow. Just like that. All right, this next part is a little trickier. First, you're going to go up chromatically. Open E, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Right? Then you hit that 1st fret of the A and then 3rd fret of the E again. So you got just like that. And then you're going to go, so you got, it's really cool. And what that is you're on the 3rd fret of the A, 1st fret of the A, 3rd fret of the E, and then 1st fret of the A again. Right? So if I do that all slow, then you got the 3rd fret of the A and then 1st fret of the A again. Right? So that whole progression right there. Right? And here's the weird part. You're actually going to bend this 3rd fret. And a lot of players play this differently. Some players slide that up a couple times from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret. And you could do that. The bending is kind of hard because you're so close to the nut. So it takes some practice to be able to get the strength in your finger to actually bend that, even up just a half step there. And you know you're half step because you can play this note, half step above this note. So that when you bend this, you'll know that that's your target note and that you're hitting it. So you bend that, bring it back down, and then hit the 3rd fret again. Just like that. Some people bend it twice, just like that. I'm just going to bend it one time and then hit that 3rd fret again. And then you're going to go to the 1st fret of the A and then the 3rd fret of the E. So you got... And then repeat. 1st fret of the A, 3rd fret of the E. And you can hit that twice or once at the end there. So, I'm going to do this whole progression slowly for you. One more time. Just like that. And again, if you don't want to do that, you can just do what that would look like is would anybody know the difference? Absolutely not. You know, do one slide there, you can do 2 slides if you want, 2 bends if you feel like it, or don't bend it at all if you want. Probably won't be able to tell the difference. But anyway, the next part, very, very cool part. What you're doing there is you hit twice on the 1st fret of the A, 4th fret of the A, and then you can either hit the 5th fret of the A or just open. I hit it open D. 2 hits on the 1st fret of the D string. So you got... Then you hit the 3rd fret and then the 4th fret of the A. Open D. And then you got the really cool little chromatic progression here. Just 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fret. So if I played that all together slow... And I usually, when I hit that D string, mute it. You don't want that ringing out when you're hitting that 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, because that won't sound good. So you can either mute it, or, you know, when you play it, when you hit that 1st fret of the E string, that finger will mute it. So you got... So you want to hit that 1st fret, my finger muted that D string. So there I just hit it staccato, just muted it with my hand, and then went into this. Alright, a little bit of Edgar Winter. I hope you enjoyed that. Super, really, really fun bass line to play, those parts of Frankenstein. Really, that song seems like it was devised pretty much to feature the synthesizer, but the bass in it is really cool too, just like, you know, so many songs from that period. Anyway, I am Finbar of Finbar Bass. Please do click on those little lessons down in the YouTube text box if you haven't already. Other than that, you could always subscribe to Finbar Bass, where I have a bunch more of lessons on there, tons and tons more videos, 250 something at this point, and growing steadily. So thank you so much for listening. Got the fret dots. Don't forget about that. We'll have them from now on. I'm not taking them off there. No. Have fun with that, yo. And I almost forgot to say the most important part about this Edgar Winter lesson, something that's really going to help you guys out, is dots. Fret markers. I got them now. I know everyone's been saying, oh my god, I can't follow you. There's no fret markers. It took me a long time to do it, but I finally did it. You'll notice I got these beautiful, they're very expensive. These are actually made of shaved rubies. I had to put those on there and get them inlaid by a guitar tech. No, I'm totally kidding. Those are actually packing stickers. I got packing stickers. I got them at Staples. But anyway, hopefully you guys are overjoyed at this. It's gonna, and girls, just gonna make being able to follow the lessons that much easier. So apologize it's taking so long, but check it out. Fret markers on the Cirrus. All about it.